My name's Phil and welcome back to another episode of Vermont's 100 Covered Bridges. Today we're at the Flint Covered Bridge, which is in Tunbridge. Again, we have another bridge proudly proclaiming its name. The Flint Bridge, 1874, 10-foot height. There just seemed to be a little bit of doubt about the exact age. I'll explain that once we get into the bridge and once this car has passed. Good old British Mini. My first car I had in 1980 was a 1972 Mini. There we go. So what have we got at this bridge? Well, we have a Queen post truss. And this bridge is 87 feet long. And it's pretty much, you can't get much longer than that on a Queen truss. That's when they become like multi-king or lattice trusses. So this bridge just about stretched the very last few inches into making this marvellous structure. Let's go and explore a little bit more. So the Flint Covered Bridge, like many, has had different names. It's also been called the North Tunbridge Bridge because out of all the 5 bridges in Tunbridge, it's the most northerly. The Moxley Covered Bridge is in Chelsea, just north of Tunbridge. Also been known as the Justin Morgan Bridge because he was believed to be one of the local landowners. I also like this unique little window. I wonder if it was actually made with that in mind or somebody over the years just made it themselves. And I've got to find a way down there because it's steep banks. It's not deep. It's steep banks and I'm going to have to go and find a way. The other thing to notice is up here, the front of the portal is newer wood. And then you've got newer wood again on some of these support beams. Then in the middle tends to be a lot older. Although, again, the roof definitely is more modern. It's actually quite wide. I mean, you think, I don't know, you get 2 minis through it, but it is one-way traffic. You could definitely probably get two Jeeps through it, but it's definitely one-way traffic. In 1969, the bridge pretty much went through a refurbishment, a good restoration. And this was carried out by Milton Grayton, who you may recall built the Middle Bridge in Woodstock, amongst the many others that he either built or refurbished throughout Vermont and New Hampshire. In fact, during this work, they actually raised the height of the bridge from the waterbed by 2 feet. And it's always nice to see the welcome sign from the Vermont Covered Bridge Society. All you need to do is take a picture of that and scan away. Yeah, this side of the bridge is definitely more original than the other. And here we are at the other end of the bridge. As you can see, this is where the confusion comes from over the year, the date of the bridge, because this side says 1845, whereas the other side was 1874. So, who knows? The World Guide to Covered Bridges, which is the Bible of covered bridges, does state the bridge was 1874. But as I say, with those two dates, who knows? The builder's unknown. If the builder was still here, or his ancestors were, we'd be able to find the answer. Well, I have made it underneath the bridge. Wasn't without incident. Fortunately, going over all the waterfalls and everything was great. And I got to the bank and I just thought, oh, here's a nice branch I can just hold on to while I go around the rock. And let's just say I've got a wet backside. Fortunately, I put the waders on. Mainly because I had to scramble down a huge bank on that side full of tall grass and whatever, and if I put the waders on, it would protect me from ticks and stuff. But I'm glad I did put them on, because these are offering much better protection in the water than those sandals. Okay, so this is the downstream side. Let's get underneath. So you see the one abutment behind me, completely stone. Concrete cap at the top, but stone all the way to the bottom. On that side is concrete at the top and the bottom. You see, it looks pretty. New parts underneath. And you may be looking at what I'm showing you. I'm looking for a way out, an easy way out. It's got to be. I'm not going back that way. So upstream from the bridge, it's like a foot deep and no sign of what's about to come about 50 yards away. That was the most challenging river, not only to get into, it was even, I mean, the Phill was a piece of cake towards this one. Actually, once I was on the river, because I was going sort of zigzag, and I was going along a ledge, and there's a waterfall, and you think, oh, there's a shallow, you can see a shallow path the whole way, but in the middle there's a deep pond, and you've got to go back, and then it was a puzzle, and I enjoyed it, but that was a challenge. But here is the Flint covered bridge from upstream. This is the second most northerly of the 6. Last week's episode, the Moxie Bridge, that's the most northerly of the 6. And okay, so I'll leave you with one last look. The Flint Bridge from down here. It's great. I tell you what, if I'd have come like a week and a half ago when we had a lot of rain, I wouldn't have attempted to go over that, all those waterfalls. I'm glad I did today. It was a great scenic view. The wife will go mad when she sees the videos, but I'll just fast forward it when I get to this bit. But yeah, it's time for me to find a way out and get back up there. So I think I found a route. It's just going to go straight up there. I mean, it's not that tall, it's steep, but a lot of branches I can hold on to. So phone away, microphone away, and up I go. I'm almost there, and it came out exactly where the Jeep is. That wasn't planned, but yeah, actually it was a lot easier. And thank you to a handful of trees. I was almost. I should bloop that out, shouldn't I? I shouldn't have that in, but it'll be fun. Just got this one last step to make. Whew. There we go. Back on dry land. That was fun. That was fun. So thanks again for joining me on this week's episode. Adventurous episode. I'm just hoping that the scenes, the pictures that I brought to you do it justice down there, because there's not many of you are going to be able to get down there. It was a struggle, and yeah, nice little bridge. Again, nothing spectacular. The bridge is quite high off the bed of the water, so storm Irene isn't probably going to affect that, or storm Irene didn't affect that. And once again, thanks so much to Vermont Covered Bridge Society for their help and support. I'm too wet to advertise the calendars and the logbooks and the baseball caps. Go to the website, Marketplace, check them out. And I'll see you next week in another video. I'll be about 2 miles further down. Thanks very much. See you next week.